everyone, my name is Cheylaina Fultz, and I would consider myself to be a multi-passionate entrepreneur, and I'll get into exactly why I call myself that a little bit later. But first, I'll start with answering the questions. The year I graduated from high school was 2005. I know that probably seems like a long time ago to you guys, but really it wasn't. I was just 17, okay? I did not graduate from Franklin Center High School. I am from a town called Wallace, North Carolina, and I graduated from Wallace Rose Hill High School. And high school was it was fun, but I was kind of like the new girl because my mom was a school teacher, and I went to this school that she taught at, which was out of our district, meaning it was about 30 minutes away from the school that I was supposed to go to, like the elementary schools and middle schools that was in my actual hometown. So by the time I got to high school, I didn't necessarily know many other people because I did not grow up with them, like from middle school and high school. From middle school and elementary school. So, but I did participate in, I was a cheerleader. I was a part of the drama club. So I did have a lot of fun in high school. I was in the chorus. So, growing up in my hometown, I was ready to leave, quite frankly. Like, I could not wait to leave. I really did not like being in a small town. And I was just ready to go. Like, my biological mother is from New York. Well, she's not from the United States, but she moved to New York as a child. So I would go visit her. She didn't raise me, but I would go visit her whenever school was out for like the summers or spring break or whatever. And I'm like in this big city, Brooklyn, New York, and I just thought it was like so much better than the little town that I lived in. So I always was like, oh, I can't wait to live in a big city. And I don't know. So I appreciate the small town upbringing, definitely. But I was ready to leave and it was time to go to college. I went to North Carolina A&T. So I wanted to go to Howard, but my mom wouldn't let me go to DC. I did end up, however, doing an internship at BET in Washington, DC years later, once I was in college. So I kind of still got to that area. How many times did I change what I wanted to be when I grew up? So, I mean, as children, when you're a little kid, you're like, oh, I want to be this, I want to be that when I grow up. There's quite a few things that I said I wanted to be. I wanted to be a lawyer, and I think I only wanted to be a lawyer because I wanted to wear like really cute pantsuits and skirt suits and stuff. I wanted to be a fashion designer. I wanted to be an actress, a television host, and guess what? I still want to be all of those things, except for the attorney. And guess what? I'm doing all of those things. I recently launched a fashion line. I have an online talk show. Got my degree in journalism and mass comm. And what else did I say? Acting. I'm a part of a talent agency here in Columbus, Ohio, so I do get the opportunity to act. Even my children, I have them in acting and stuff. So when did I realize I wanted to be? Okay, so let's go backwards a little bit. Because this next question is asking me, when did I realize I wanted to be whatever I am now? So I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always wanted to have my own business. Now, I did wedding planning for 8 years. Did destination weddings as well as I planned weddings in Jamaica and Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. I started off in Raleigh, Columbus. I had planners working under me in Raleigh and in Charlotte. Then I moved to Columbus, Ohio. So I think I knew that for that piece, the wedding planning, I knew that when I took a fashion merchandising class in high school. And we watched the movie The Wedding Planner one day. And I literally was like, oh my gosh, Jennifer Lopez really played that role. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be a wedding planner one day. I think that would be such a fun job. Like, to be the girl who's in charge of everything. And so that was the moment I realized that. I think I was like in 12th grade. I had to be in 12th grade. So I have a line for children clothing, for HBCU kids, because I graduated from an HBCU, and I wanted to make trendy clothes for um, kids whose parents graduated from HBCUs. So right now, I have like really cool like sequin jackets with the Aggie Bulldog on the back, and I have stuff for NCCU. I'm a licensed vendor for these schools, and so that fashion piece, I've always known I wanted to do something with fashion related, but that part wasn't until last year, 2019, when I kind of like got this vision for doing a kids fashion line, like HBCU kids fashion line, because right now or then or whenever, I always saw cute sweatshirts and t-shirts for kids. I never saw like a cool denim dope jean jacket with sequin sleeves, or so like or rompers or whatever that represented an HBCU, and that's what I'm doing now. So I knew I wanted to do fashion for a long time. Um, what educational things did you have to acquire to become? Okay, so before I became a wedding planner, I did go through a certification program to become a certified wedding planner. That wasn't necessary, but because I had not worked in that industry before, I wanted to educate myself a little bit more while gaining a mentor in that area. So I had already had my degree in journalism and mass comm, and that certainly did help with a lot of things, like my marketing efforts, my communication skills. When it came to business, it helped with a lot. Um, what was difficult for you on your path to your career? Well, I would say it was difficult finding a mentor in the beginning. So I remember reaching out to so many different wedding planners because I wanted to be able to learn from someone, whether I worked for free. Like I was willing to like intern with them, shadow them for free. And at that time, 2012, now there's this whole women empowerment and this whole community over competition, but not then. It was like dog eat dog world. Nobody wanted to let you into their little wedding planning bubble or circle because they were afraid you might take from them to start your own business. And so it was very difficult in that aspect. So I kind of just was like, I'm just gonna do this on my own. Like I'm gonna figure it out. I planned events before. I had worked in marketing before, and I was like, I can do this, and I figured it out on my own. So, what was easier for you on your path to your career? I think some of my um soft skills, my personality, helped to be able to attract clients and brides, and my knowledge um, of the industry made it easier. So being able to take those certification courses and connecting with people in the wedding industry, having those contacts, it made it easier for me as a wedding planner. What was important for you to do or remember on your journey to your career? It was really important for me to remember why I was doing this and why I started the business. When you're starting a business, you shouldn't just start it because you want to be your own boss. Yeah, so that's a great reason. Or, you want to make a whole bunch of money, because you're not going to make a lot of money at first. Like, there's quite a ton of business expenses that you're going to have. And you have to know why you're in this, or else you'll get out of it ASAP. So being an entrepreneur is not a walk in the park. It's not something that, you have to be very structured and organized. Because who else? You don't have anyone breathing over your shoulder saying, get this done right now. Like, you have to be able to manage yourself, manage your calendar, manage your family, your household, because you have other things going on, but you have to be able to carve out time to complete the tasks that you have for your clients or, for your business alone. You wear so many different hats when you're an entrepreneur, especially in the beginning. If you don't really have a team, then you're the marketing director. you're the accounting department. You're all of those things. You're the social media manager. So being able to really stay focused on the end goal and why you started is very important. What was important for you to do? Okay. What advice do you have for a middle school student who thinks they want to become a wedding planner or an entrepreneur? If you want to become an entrepreneur, my advice is for you to find someone who's doing what you want to do, um, and learn under that person. Shadow that person. Get all the advice and everything you need from that person. Like, ask all of the questions that you want to ask. Not even if you want, not just for entrepreneurs, for any career path that you like to take. You need to have a mentor. You need to have someone that you can talk to. I'm also so blessed now. I had a wedding planning mentor, but now that I'm doing fashion, I have a mentor who was like a VP, a vice president in corporate America for the Justice for Girls brand, for Limited 2. She did all of this stuff. She traveled to China to go to the manufacturers and to check out what was going on there, how they were producing their jeans and everything. So I've connected with an amazing mentor. So that's very important. And if I didn't have this mentor trying to start this fashion line, I would be so lost. Like, I didn't know that I needed to do fittings and send back notes and stuff to the manufacturers, and I would have just been selling clothes. That's why the process has taken so long for me with my fashion line, because I thought I could just launch it in a month, but that's another story. So basically, finding you a good mentor is my advice. And that's the same for high school students. Find a good mentor. Intern, shadow. How do you select your degree program if one is required for your profession? How do you select your degree program? Well, I don't really understand this question. If it's required for your profession, I mean, if you're a teacher, if you're gonna have to have a degree, so you're gonna select. If you want to be an elementary school teacher, you would just select, whatever type of degree goes along with that career. So you might need to talk to your guidance counselor or whoever to discover, get on Google and discover what type of degree you need for what you want to be. Okay, how did you handle things when it didn't work out the way you thought it would for your career aspiration? Okay, so when I graduated from North Carolina A&T, the year was 2008. We had a brand new president. President Barack Obama was in, and he was left with a horrible economy. The economy had just crashed. He came into a big mess. And so it was a lot. I didn't have a job out of college. I did not graduate a semester early from college. So I was like, what am I supposed to do now? I can't find a job. My plan was to become a reporter, a news reporter. I sent my resume tape out to all these news stations, and I wasn't getting any bites. So I ended up deciding that, I'll just take a different path for now. I'll go to graduate school. So when, the reporting and everything didn't work out, I decided to go to grad school, and I didn't like it. I did not like I went to grad school for elementary education. My mom was a teacher for over 30 years. She was nominated for Who's Who Among American Teachers twice. And I loved kids. I volunteered at the YMCA. And I really did enjoy kids. But once I did that student teaching, I realized I did not want to be a kindergarten teacher. So I handled it by stepping up and saying, you know what, this isn't for me, and I will not be able to be the best teacher that I could be for these students who would deserve an amazing teacher, because it's not what I really wanted to do. So I just had to kind of do some soul searching and figure out what do I want to do? Where do I want to see myself in a few years? Write out my goals, that type of thing. Did you have a plan B? So I guess I kind of answered that question. Because my plan B was to go to grad school. There was no jobs. I guess I'll just go to graduate school. That was the plan B. Okay, what obstacles did you have to overcome to get your career? I kind of mentioned that before. With just the dog eat dog world of the wedding planning industry, I just kind of had to push all that to the side and remember why I was doing what I wanted to do, and to know that what God had for me was just, it was for me. Like, I didn't have to worry about what the next person was doing, or if someone would take whatever they could take from me. I didn't have to worry about that because it wasn't going to happen. Did I have, what obstacles did you have to, okay, we're just done. Okay, yeah, so if you would like to contact me, if you have more questions, yes, that's fine. You can email me at CheylainaFultz@gmail.com. That is CHEYLAI, and as in Nancy, A, Fultz, FULT as in Tom, Z as in zebra, @gmail.com. And I will try to edit that in and put it at the bottom so you can see. And yeah, so thank you for listening. And if you want to ask me more questions, yes, feel free to email me. Thanks.